Okay, so we've all done it. We've all been working on miles of stockinette or simple stitch only to find out that we dropped a stitch somewhere. So how do we repair it? Do we rip out the whole row, or is there something we can do with it? Well, there is something we can do with it, but it has to be done right away. In this little swatch, I actually have 2 dropped stitches, one here and one here, but they look pretty seamlessly repaired, and I'm going to show you how I did that. I'm going to show you the repair in the knit stitch, but the exact same concept works for the simple stitch as well. So I'm going to knit a couple of stitches, okay, and I'm going to skip this stitch right here, and then I'll just knit across the rest of the row. Okay, now the repair happens in 2 steps. The first step is in the return pass of the row that you first skipped the stitch. So we're going to continue our return row as normal until we get to the stitch that was skipped. And now we're there. There's the stitch that's missing. What you're going to want to do is slide your hook out so that you have a nice loop, free hanging. Okay, remove your hook from the loop and hold that loop down to the side or anywhere out of the way, but kind of hold on to it because it may have a tendency to disappear. Finding the stitch that you missed, which is right here, insert your hook however the stitch is supposed to be made. So in this case it's a knit stitch. Grab the free yarn, the working yarn, don't let that loop go away. Yarn over and draw up a loop. Okay, now that loop that was free hanging over here, put it back on your hook. Okay, and tighten it up just a little bit. Okay, yarn over and continue your return row. Okay, that was the first part of the repair. The second part comes in the forward pass of the next row. So you're going to knit all of those stitches, making sure that when you get to the stitch that was skipped, that you knit the new loop that was brought up and not the loop that you skipped. Okay, now go ahead and return row as normal. And let's look at our repair work. The stitch that we skipped was right here, and now the repair is virtually seamless. It would take a great detective work to figure out that you messed up right there. The exact same theory applies to the simple stitch. You would pull out the loop and remove the hook, go underneath the vertical bar that you missed, grab that tail or that working yarn, draw up a loop, put the old loop back on the hook, and continue the return row as normal. And but it has to be done right away, because if you wait until the next row, you will have an elongated stitch, or in the case of knits, you'll have a knit here and then another knit in the space in between, and it will definitely show. So you can kind of see up close, and that is how you can repair a dropped stitch in Tunisian crochet.